Hello, lovelies. This is Agnes van Rijn, the founder of Success on Your Own Terms and the founder of the Women Who Make Things Happen show. Today, it's my very, very big pleasure to be interviewing Michelle Lowbridge. Michelle Lowbridge is the energy expert for people who want to erase their money blocks and change their energy without having to wear lentil underpants and eat knitted hemp burgers. You will have to tell me what that is. I have no clue. Her life changed completely last summer when she erased her own money blocks and unexpectedly went from $0 to $45,000 in 2 weeks' time. And ever since then, she's been a bit obsessed with helping other entrepreneurs experience the same wealth without limits. Michelle, welcome to the Women Who Make Things Happen show. How are you?
Hello, I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine too. I'm so delighted to have you. And I can tell you already that I told quite a few people that you were the next episode. And everyone is like, oh, Michelle, I love her. I adore her. So for those who don't know you and don't know yet that they will adore you, tell us more about your story.
So I'm a kinesiologist, which in short is an energy worker. So I work with changing people's energy. Your energy system is your blueprint for your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. So when we make changes in the energy system, it really changes things in all sorts of different ways. So I was working in like physical practice with people coming in one-to-one, up until this time last year, charging about $50 an hour, often giving discounts. But I was pregnant. So I thought I'm going to go on maternity leave, and I'd been teaching happiness classes online, in person. And my plan was, while I was on maternity leave, to turn that into an online course and to not go back to doing the kinesiology at the therapy centre. And I had just had my baby boy, Jackson. He's 1 on Friday, actually. And I was reading The Big Leap, the Gay Hendricks book about upper limit problems. And he explains how you reach a certain limit in what you earn and you will pull yourself back down because there's all sorts of consequences that might come as a result of making that money. And it's new and different and it triggers all sorts of things. So you bring your level back down again. And that really resonated with me. I could see that pattern at work in my own life. I've also got another online business, and I knew that if one went busy, the other one would go quiet. And it was just a constant, steady income.
That's what David Neagle calls your thermostat, your financial thermostat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, love it. So in the book, he gives mindset exercises you can do to change your upper limit and increase it. But that just sounded like a really long-winded way of doing things to me. So I did some energy work around it. And then within 48 hours, I really felt lots of things shifting. My feelings about money were really different. I went out and bought a new car and just things really changed. So I offered in a Facebook group that we're both in, the Lucky Bees, to I've got a new skill. Does anyone want to try it out? And the response was really overwhelming.
I remember that.
Yeah, and people really, really loved it. And then they started asking, can I have a session with you? Can I work with you one-on-one? And obviously I got a new baby and it wasn't something I was planning to do. But Pete was a teacher, so he was off work. And so I just went to him and said, look, these ladies are asking, should I do it? It's money. I don't want to kind of turn it down. And it was also, it's like, this is a way I could use my work and all these skills that I've got for something that feels really exciting, that brings about really quick changes. And it feels easy for me to do, but it seemed really, at the same time, really powerful, and no one else is doing it. And so he said, yeah, there was no hesitation really on his part. Get in the office, book the appointments, crack on with it. So that's what I did. And then I started doing it for a larger group of people at once. I have a technique that I just developed from kind of a sidetrack from my training, where I can shift the energy blocks for an infinite number of people, it seems, wherever they are in the world at the same time, or at a time when it suits them, as long as I've put them into this same kind of energy correction setup that I have. And so I started doing that, and that was really getting good results, and people were loving that. So a friend of mine, Amy Burke, said, that's a product. You could, that doesn't have to be like a bonus or just something you do. That's something you could sell. And that was exciting. So I think that was a Thursday, and she said to me, right, I've created you an opt-in. You're collecting email addresses. You launch on Monday. And I was just like, really? Shouldn't we have like this long drawn out 3 videos and video training and blah, blah, blah? And she was like, no, these are hot leads. These people like what you're doing. They can see what you're doing. You need to just get on with it. So that's what happened. That the following Monday I launched, and then 2 weeks later closed the cart. And I thought at the time it was $43,000. And then a couple of months ago, when I actually was checking properly, tracking the money as I should have been at the time, it turned out to be, it was 45,267.
Wow.
Which was huge, unheard of, from, you know, $50 a few months before. And it meant that I went to my husband and said, you've got to go back to work at the start of term and hand in your notice. Because he was in a stressful job, secondary school teacher. You know, it's a hard job, hard work. And so now he's at home. We're both at home with the baby. They've gone out, so there's a little bit of peace for me to do this. They've popped out. But most of the time, you know, we're just at home together, and it's completely changed everything. And that group is my online family. I just love it, love the people in there. And this is it. So it's become what I do now.
How many members do you have in the group now?
225 now. Yeah, at the launch I think it went up to about 150 that's signed up for the full year in the beginning. But you can now just join on a monthly membership. So we've had more people come in as they've obviously heard about it. And so, yeah, that's up to 75, about that more have joined. And yeah, it's good fun.
So in that process, what have you found, and there are many things I'll come back to, but what have you found most challenging?
Most challenging? Delegation. I've just started working with a VA, and yeah, I kind of started to do that before and just wasn't in the right, I think I wasn't in the right place to see it through. I wasn't confident enough. I didn't really have a system in place for what I was doing. So therefore it was really hard to show anyone else what to do. And at the point where I could say, okay, these emails go here, this is this is the reply. And actually it's okay if I don't reply to everything immediately and personally. If it's something that's more, you know, admin focused, I can let go of some of these things. So that was actually been a process of doing some energy work on myself. Like, what am I fearful of? Quite a lot of fear of letting people down, or you know, not being attentive to everyone's needs, and then you know, just upsetting someone, or all of those things. So I've been doing some work around that, and now I'm more in a place of, if I have some help there, then I can focus over here, and actually that's where I should be putting my attention, which I've read so many people, you know, say that, but you can know something and then I think really know it. And now I feel like I'm starting to really know it. It's still a learning curve. But
well, you've been adding a layer, in fact, of difficulty, because you are, or at least were, flying the plane while building it.
Yeah.
I think that's what you were doing. So I definitely can. I mean, for most people, delegation is a difficult part, but when on top of it, you have no clear idea yourself where you're at. I mean, it's not as if you had started a whole strategy about how you were going to do everything. It's quite an interesting process.
Yeah.
It's for you that you can work on yourself too with your stuff.
Yes, yeah, and that's been really key, I think, to know that I have to walk my talk with this. I can't be holding a space for 225 people and not be looking at my own stuff. And I think that's really important. It's not about saying I'm perfect, I've done it, you know, I've got everything together and this is what you need to do. It's about saying, for me anyway, it's been about saying, I'm totally on this journey. I might be maybe I'm one step further than you down the path, and this is what I can share about what I've learned, but I'm kind of stumbling and fumbling my way through it, but I'm always looking for...
Like we all do.
Yeah, but I'm always looking for where can I improve, and where is this highlighting something that's going on with me. And if I'm feeling not good, and if I'm feeling stressed and I'm feeling out of balance, there might be, you have that period of time where it used to be months where I'd be looking externally, you know, for what that solution was. And at the time it takes now for me to look internally, it's probably down now to more like hours where I can catch myself and, okay, where are we going here? And sometimes it's, you know, I have a conversation with a friend or whatever, and it's interesting. Other people can pick up on your gremlins sometimes if you're open to having that conversation. You really trust the person. So I really like, you know, having conversations with other entrepreneurs. There's so much that we have in common. I think it's such an exciting journey. I think it's a journey that challenges you and tests you and makes you grow in such a fulfilling, rapid way that I really recommend it.
So what I like as well, what I have been observing with you through time, is that you really do everything you can to be true to yourself. I mean, I've seen you at some points trying to launch new things, etc., and ultimately it didn't work for you, and you just said, okay, I stop it. This is not me. I'm trying to do what everyone is doing, but this is not me. This is not okay. And you did not refrain from just saying, hey, sorry, this was a mistake. I stop it all.
Yes. Yeah, I've done that a couple of times. I think getting over that fear of just admitting you're wrong, fear of like being embarrassed about stuff, which is so, you know, it's so easy. Embarrassment's quite big. It's quite a big thing for me. Like, oh God, what have I done? And but getting to the point of saying, do you know what, if this doesn't feel really good, I'm just not going to do it, and being honest about that. Yeah. And it's made people like closer to me, I think. Mm-hmm. And I've really found that the people, like the ladies in the group, at the times when I've said, you know what, this isn't working, I'm going to change it, and or this is a boundary I need to put in place, or that kind of thing. At that point, once I've got over the fear of what might the reaction be, it's always been so positive. There's been nothing other than encouragement and support, and so many people saying, thank you for doing that, because it's shown me that it's okay for me to do it.
Absolutely.
And that's been really, really lovely. I mean, I feel like I'm so lucky to be surrounded by those women in that group who are, you know, going through the same stuff. But yeah, I mean, doing the main thing I think was I went down a route of writing the sales copy, hit the pain points and do all that stuff. And when I went back and looked at it, it was just not me. It just felt really cringy. And I know it works for other people, and obviously, and that's totally cool. I try not to judge anyone for whatever they're doing. If it works for them and they're helping people, absolutely brilliant. But for me, on this path, doing what I'm doing just the way I am, it didn't feel right. And that was reflected in the fact that people didn't sign up.
Yeah.
People didn't sign up. I didn't feel good about doing it. People didn't feel good when they were reading it or watching the video. And as soon as I made a few changes, everything felt good. Things were flowing again. So now I'm trying to catch things before it gets to the point, you know, where you've kind of said, this is what I'm going to do. Or even I had another thing that I created. It felt like it was going to be a really good idea. And the sales page for it wasn't the problem. It was just the amount of work, and it was in a slightly different direction. And that was about taking my focus away from what I really wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And even though it would have been fun, it was just a little bit off the path. So and at that point I'd taken people's money, and I had to, you know, I had to refund them and apologize and explain. And that, it wasn't an easy decision to come to, but as soon as I'd made the decision, it was like, oh wow, that feels so much better.
That feels so much better, yeah.
Such a relief, yeah. So now I'm trying to kind of have all those conversations in my head before, you know, and plan things out and make better calls before I say I'm going to do something. But you don't know sometimes you just don't know until you do it. Mm-hmm.
So one of the tips you would have, I would assume, is to follow your instinct.
So much.
What is right.
So much. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like sometimes it can be hard to, I think, like trust your instincts, and you've got so much going on. It's like, what is that? Which voice should I listen to? And so now I generally just try and go with what am I really excited about? What's going to feel really good fun? And also, when you've kind of narrowed it down to a few options, like I'm now at the point of preparing for, I'm going to do another year of the prosperity prescription starting in the summer. And I said at the beginning, this will run as it is for 1 year, and then I might do another year, I might not, I might do something different. So I kind of didn't want to commit to more than 12 months. But as it's gone on, people have started prompting the conversation, what are we doing? We don't want this to end, and I don't want it to finish either. But you know, what am I going to add to it? I want to, how am I going to tweak it? Can I make it better? Can I improve it? So I'm surveying, asking the people in there, these are the ideas that I've had. What do you think? Mm-hmm. And I only put the survey out yesterday, so it's interesting, you know, seeing the feedback. And then when as many people as want to reply, I've replied on there, then I can, I think, take what they've said, but then again take it back to what feels good. Because even doing something like that, I noticed yesterday the thing that I thought would be most popular wasn't as popular as I thought it would be. And it's like, okay, how do I feel about that? And maybe one of the things that's coming up as popular, do I want to do it? But it's great having that feedback before you're at the point of committing to anything.
Yeah,
so
you're at the research phase.
Yeah, exactly. And I think before, a couple of times, I'm just like, well, I feel like doing it, so I'll just put it out there. There wasn't enough research. So feeling good and asking people.
Taking the pulse of what your clients need, in fact, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
It's interesting, the way things happened for you, because, I mean, the way the title I gave for the show, The Woman Who Makes Things Happen, there is a notion behind it of I've consciously chosen blah blah blah, where you rolled into it and you are now in the process of making things happen for you, but by remaining extremely conscious of what it is that you want to be doing, so connected to who you are.
I think you can make things happen without pushing.
Yeah.
And I think for me, some of what happened last summer started 2 years before, 3 years before. Yeah, it's like choosing to do that kinesiology training, choosing to attend that conference in Denver, which connected me to Amy, which led to me being in B school, which Lucky Bees was the boat. Like there are 1,000,001 things that lead to that point. And I guess the one thing that was really key last summer was I showed up and all I wanted to do was, I've got something cool. Do you want to try it? I'm just here to do it for free. Like there was no expectation from me whatsoever. There certainly wasn't the intention that 3 or 4 weeks later it was going to be a big, for me, a big business. There was still the, like, make things happen, even if you've got there's no intention, there's no expectation. And I think that's really, really important, really, just to be doing something that feels good to do, even if you're not getting paid. I think you have to be careful to balance that with, oh, I have to do this for free, because it got to the point where it's like, yeah, I'm not going to do this for free anymore. And I had a request this week from somebody to do something for their group that I think 10 months ago I did for free, and it felt good to do that. And then this week it was like, I'm so busy, I've got so much going on, there will now be a fee for that. And that's a process. But I think you have to balance that willingness to serve, especially when you're getting things going. I think it's important. How are you going to know what is good otherwise?
Yeah, well, it's what we keep hearing, of course, and experience around us. It's all about serving first, and that's when it comes back ultimately.
Yes,
I like this notion also of making your own choices. This is exactly why I've rebranded my business to say success on your own terms. It's not, everyone says you should do A, B, C, D, but if it doesn't feel right, you won't get the clients anyway.
Yes.
It will not work, and you're a live example of that.
Yeah.
I know that you don't have that much time. What would you say are the top 3 recommendations you would give to people wanting to live their dreams and, just be inspired by you to do so?
Okay. Well, obviously for me, doing what I do, look at your energy, find someone, whether it be me or someone else, check their credentials. Don't let anyone muck about with your energy system. I think that's really, really important. But it really is the key to so many things. I mean, it's your attraction magnet. You're literally vibrating on a frequency. That frequency is your energy frequency. So if you find someone that can change that frequency and remove the blocks and misalignments, everything's going to change. So absolutely, number 1, fundamental. Secondly, have fun. Oh, yeah. Like, life is not meant to be hard. Don't forget to have fun. If it's not feeling good and it's not feeling joyful, change something, or stop doing something, or start doing something. But yeah, have fun. And I guess the third one would be to have that balance between motion and stillness. Mm-hmm. I know that I go through phases of push, and the moment that I just stop, then it all happens. Like, it's no coincidence that my first VIP client signed up for a $5,000 package. Well, I was on holiday with my phone off. It's not a coincidence, that, is it? Definitely not. That moment where you let everything go and you stop pushing, you let things come towards you. So I think, yeah, energy, fun, motion and stillness, balance of, would be my 3 fundamental things.
I think the fun part has been a tough one for me because I'm the eldest of 6. I've always been carrying everyone. So for me, life was always so serious, and I forgot to have fun. And at some point, somebody said to me, "When do you have fun?" I said, "What?"
Yeah.
What is that? And since I reintroduced it in my life because, of course, originally there was fun. Yeah, it's a massive change. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell us, where can people find you?
Okay, MichelleLowbridge.com. Is my website, MichelleLowbridge.com, and you can find out about the prosperity prescription on there. And at the moment, I'm doing the other thing that I've been a bit challenged with is getting up in the morning, because I've been working on the American time zones. So I found myself staying up later and later, getting up later and later. And obviously Pete's been here to do the school run. So I've ended up like completely flipped around body clock. So I started on Sunday. I announced it on Sunday for some accountability on my Facebook page. We're doing a 30-day early morning challenge. So I'm getting up at 6 o'clock, which is quite really early for me. It's not even early for some people.
No, it isn't. I'm a morning person.
Yeah, Susie Ashworth from the Calm Birth School, she's up every 5 o'clock every morning, walking in the park. I'm like, wow, okay, that's very inspiring. So if you're an entrepreneur who is like sleeping funny hours and like me was finding it very hard to get up in the morning, you can it's Michelle Lowbridge's page. It's on Facebook, and we're just there for the whole month of June. And it's just post some evidence that you're awake in the morning, and it's really worked. The last 3 days, we walked my daughter to school this morning. We went out for breakfast. I went and did an exercise class on Monday. All sorts of things changing. And all because in the morning when the alarm goes off, I'm like, oh, I can't press snooze because there's loads of people know that I'm meant to be getting up. And on the way to school this morning, people waving like, we see you. So that's another place you can just come and hang out with me for the month of June. But yeah, you can send me an email, send me a Facebook message if you've got any questions. I'm pretty easy to get hold of.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Michelle. I've really enjoyed this. It's a bit shorter than usual, but that's fine. I will survive.
That's like me.
And so I'll let you go. And while you're away, I will finish the show by telling people where they can find the recording, etc.
Oh, you're more than kind. Thank you, Agnes. And you look fantastic. It's lovely to see you all lit up and doing your thing in the world. Love it.
Thank you, Michelle. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Take care. Lots of love. Bye.
Bye. So, ladies, I hope you enjoyed this. Our next show is on June 15th. I very probably have another amazing guest. I'm just waiting for the confirmation of the date for the recording. But in theory, we should have Denise Dutfield-Thomas. If it doesn't work for this week, for the 15th, it will be the week after. But in any event, she's accepted to be interviewed, and I really, really, really look forward to that interview as well, because it has been Denise has been the start for a lot of things for a lot of people. So as far as the interviews are concerned, you will find as of Monday, I'm releasing the interviews on Mondays, this interview with Michelle on my website, but the archives as well of all the other amazing ladies that I have interviewed. So my website is agnesvanrijn.com, and that is ANYESVANRHIJN.com, and just go to the tab that says in the navigation bar, the tabs that says WWMTH for Women Who Make Things Happen interviews. I'm looking forward to talking to you soon, as soon as I know when I have my appointment with Denise. Thank you. Bye-bye.